you doing? My name's Dave, and if you've already recorded one video today, you can call me Daveypoo, the mobile music minstrel. So I just did a really long video on apeMatrix, and it's actually almost too long to post. I'm going to post it anyway, but I decided I was going to do a quick 5-minute intro to apeMatrix. Really quick to just show you some of the basic features and basically how it works before I launch the big super in-depth one later on. I think I should do them in pairs. That way, if you don't want to commit to the giant one, you can do the little tiny one. So here we go. apeMatrix is different than, say, AUM, which is most often compared to, because it's a matrix style rather than a mixer style. So you have to get used to the idea that the inputs are all on the left-hand side and the outputs are all on the top. The signal comes in from the left and goes out to the top. If you can get that idea in and out like this, if you can get that idea through your head and really sink it in, everything will make sense. So I'm going to hit one of these plus buttons in this vertical column here on the left. Boom, plus. I'm going to bring up a synthesizer. Let's just pick Galileo, Yonak, okay? Simple. Now, it brings up a menu. It says connects and show, or OK. Connects, that means that I can just have it route the audio from the AU that I just opened, which is Galileo, to the output that I'm hearing in my head. Show will just show the AU. Connects and show will do both, connect it to the output and show it. And then OK will do nothing. It'll just bring you back here. So let's do OK just so we can see what happens. Now, by default, it does nothing. I have to go over to the right-hand side here. I have to click the power button. I have to turn on the AU. Then I have to route it to the output. Now, apeMatrix by default does you no favors. You have to do it yourself. You have to remember that. So, again, it takes a second to wrap your head around. It can be really liberating once you get this first stuff through your head, though. It's tough. It took me a minute. Okay. So now I have Galileo routed to the output. How do I make sound out of it? There's an internal keyboard built into apeMatrix. I also have my Keith McMillan keyboard set up right here, plugged in, and so we're going to do both. So down at the bottom of the matrix here, just above the little volume bar here, it says minus 115 dB, minus 118. Okay, that's the loudness. Just above that, you'll see a little, it looks like a little mixing faders. That's the mixer. In the middle is the little menu button. And then to the other side is, it looks like the actual logo for apeMatrix itself. It's a little box with a plus sign in the middle. If you click on that, that is the, it's the MIDI matrix. So I'm going to close this. This is the audio routing matrix. This is how we route audio signals only. If we click on this, this is where we connect all of our MIDI. Okay, so I have to actually connect my keyboard and the internal keyboard to Galileo. So I just, the input comes in and then goes up, right? So it goes in from the little DIN connector icon is my keyboard. It's whatever's plugged in. And then the little keyboard, if I click on that, you'll see this is the internal keyboard. If I route that, so now both of these should make sound through Galileo. Okay, and then my keyboard. Great. Both work. Close, close. So now I've got AU that I've plugged in. I've routed the audio, and I've routed an external MIDI source to it and the internal on-screen keyboard to it. We're at 5 minutes, so we're going to do one more thing. We're going to route actually, we're going to do two more things. We're going to route a sequencer to Galileo to make it play, and we're going to route Galileo's output to an effect so we can see what happens. Okay, so we're going to do the sequencer first. I hit another plus sign. I have to add the sequencer into the audio matrix, even though it's not going to make any sound. It just has to take up a slot. So let's just do, to make it easy, particles, because particles will play itself. Now, I'm just going to show it, because I don't actually need to connect the audio out. There's no audio out for Rosetta Particles. Rosetta Particles is a sequencer, MIDI sequencer only. It makes no sound on its own. So I have to turn it on, though. So I go over to the right-hand side, I turn it on. Okay. Now, I'm not going to play with the parameters. I'm just going to turn up the density and the speed a little bit so that it actually plays. And I'm going to turn Particles off. But I do have to route Particles to Galileo. So we go back to the little square with a plus sign, click on it. I'm going to take the output from Rosetta, oops, and I'm going to route it to Galileo, and instantly I hear sound. Now, Particles plays on its own. It does not require the transport control in the upper right-hand control, or I'm sorry, in the upper left-hand corner here. The play button does not need to be running to run Particles, so you can, as you can hear. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, let's adjust. This is a little wacky. Okay, it doesn't need to make sense for right now. Now, the last thing we're going to do, so we've got a sequencer running Galileo, and now we're going to add an effect, an audio effect. So we click on the plus button again. We're going to go and we're going to add, we're going to do something really, really simple. Let's add, oh, I can't even find it now. Well, I don't think I have it anymore. Let's do cosmonaut. Sorry to waste time. So we're going to connect this and show. So now, the output from cosmonaut has been connected to the speaker icon, which is the headphones or the output of the iPad or iPhone. We still have to have something coming into cosmonaut so that, you know, because it's only an effect, it's an audio effect, so it's not going to make any sound by itself. So we got to route Galileo to cosmonaut. So if we go over here to our matrix, we follow Galileo over and click on cosmonaut. Now we are hearing both Galileo going direct to the output and it going through cosmonaut. So I can turn off the direct output of Galileo if I want. Now I'm just going to hit random here on cosmonaut until we get something interesting. There we go. Okay. I wanted it dramatic enough so that you could hear it. So there you go. There's a quick introduction to apeMatrix. How to route something, how to get a MIDI sequencer to be controlled, how to route your MIDI to a keyboard or to an external MIDI source, to the on-screen keyboard or to an external MIDI source, how to put in an audio effect. Okay, there's so much more here. The big thing with apeMatrix is its built-in internal oscillators. They are MIDI mappable, so anything in an AU that you launch, or actually in an inter-app audio, I suppose, as long as you route it correctly, any parameter on any synthesizer that is able to be mapped to MIDI can be controlled by an oscillator in apeMatrix, and you can get some really crazy results. So, I have another huge, long, it's almost 40 minutes video on apeMatrix that I'm going to publish in a bit. Maybe I'll break it up. I'm not sure. But this is your quick intro. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please tell all your friends. And, hey, thanks to all the guys on the Audio Bus forum. By the way, support Audio Kit, Matt Fetcher, and Synth One is a free synthesizer that is out now. FM Player is also entirely free. They are open source, so if you are a programmer, you can add stuff to them. They're wonderful things. You should go check them out. Google is your friend, and you'll find out more. I'm going to go. Talk to you later. Have a great time. See you next time.